Kelsey Soby's here. Favorite fast food item? Go.
Hey, chicken nuggets before I had to go gluten-free.
I was gonna say, you can't eat too
And
much
dip.
now.
I'm a sauce girl.
Yes, barbecue.
Favorite sauce?
Barbecue.
Barbecue.
Sweet and sour. Actually, a little
Sweet
bit
and
of
sour.
everything.
Sweet
I was
and
the girl
sour.
that was like, can I have one of each? Thanks.
Yeah, and then dip it in all of
Just
them.
look at me like this.
Now I think they charge you. I think some places charge you for
places
extra
do.
sauces.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
I'm probably the reason.
Thanks, Kelsey.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Sorry about your sauces. Let's go outside right now. She tweeted this: when you're stuck in traffic, just cut your hair. Don't do that, you guys, okay? But that's what she did the other day. Send missions across the board. That's why we're having a little fun this morning. And remember to tweet me your story in the metro area. But overall, still fairly empty enough at least where you're cruising at 55 miles per hour or better. Right now we're looking at 35, just north of the Forest Lake split, just before 35E and 35W branch off from one another. So definitely a steady stream of drivers, but no brake lights quite yet. Let's go to 35E on the south side of town. This is the junction of Cedar Avenue. This is where we still have some construction going on. However, Cedar Avenue northbound traffic has certainly improved since we opened up another lane of traffic. It's been slow around those parts for some time, and today still those ramps closed. We also have a ramp Cedar Avenue at Diffley Road still closed today, so that construction continues across the Twin Cities. We're not quite into winter mode yet. 169 at County Road 81. This is up in the north side of town between Champlain and Brooklyn Park. Southbound traffic continuing to build here. Highway 169 is one of the highways where we've seen a lot of added traffic since Labor Day. It just seems that's one of the highways that's get used by buses, kids, back to school, all that kind of stuff. Let's take a look. Stillwater Lift Bridge closed will remain so till late December, and as a result, we're going to continue to see people coming down here detouring to 94 to cross at Hudson, and that will continue to add traffic to 94 westbound through Woodbury into Maplewood, that entire stretch. So we really did see some backups starting the last few days as a result of that. So just a reminder, even if you're not faced with the detour, you may be faced with some crowded 94 westbound action. Guys?
Thank you, Kelsey. Kelsey.
And hello to all of you. We made it to Thursday and we have some pretty decent driving conditions out there. We woke up yesterday to some wet roadways. Not the case today. Right now, we're in the Northwest Metro looking at I-94 at Elm Creek. Eastbound traffic definitely getting heavier as more people are making that trek, especially between Rogers and Maple Grove. But so far, so good. Plenty of headlights and no brake lights that I can see quite yet. Let's go to 94 and 35E. At this junction, we've been having some construction going on. You'll continue to see that, especially overnight, kicking in at 7 p.m., but lifting in time for the morning commute by 6 a.m. today and tomorrow. So already today, most of that out of the way. You can see some of those cones pushed over to the shoulder there. And tonight at 7 p.m., don't be surprised if you find a little stretch of 94 right at 35E shut down as well. Not completely, just some lane restrictions that will make things a little congested if you're leaving work a little late tonight. Let's go now to Cedar Avenue at 35E, where we still have some ramp closures and lane restrictions, but still a lot better of a trip than it was last week when we were down to just one lane of traffic. In fact, Tim Watkinson tweeted me that northbound Cedar Avenue from 140th to the River Bridge was smooth sailing. So that's a big improvement over stop and go conditions. But the Zafke tweets, I'll be honest, I'm pretty fed up with construction on 77. I can understand why. I will be standing by to let you know where we get a little congested this morning, guys.
Kelsey, I feel like we're at the mall and you're about to ask me a bunch of questions.
Would you like to do a survey?
It's a survey.
She's taking a traffic survey. That's
Great.
what she's
You
doing.
Yes. Hi, everyone. The Fox 9 Morning News continues now on this Thursday morning. I'm Kelsey Soby, and glad you're spending some time with us today. If you're about to head out the door, the roadways at least are dry to start off our morning, unlike yesterday. And at least the rain didn't give us too much trouble on our Wednesday. But today, we may have some construction getting in our way. Right now, we're looking at 52 at Concord Street. We've had a lot of construction on Highway 52 between here and that Lafayette Bridge. And just a warning that on Saturday, the stretch northbound from Concord up to Lafayette Bridge will actually be closed down for a bridge inspection. That will be just Saturday from about 7 in the morning till about 7 p.m. or so at night. We do have a crash out there in the Twin Cities right now. This is on the north side of town, 94 eastbound at Zane Avenue, sort of that stretch as you go from Maple Grove heading into the Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center area. A lot of flashing lights here and brake lights in full mode. So we know that those backups are going to continue. This crash happened just a few moments ago, so that means it won't be clear right away either. Looking at the south side of town, more construction to deal with. Cedar Avenue northbound at 35E. We have ramps closed here and at Diffley Road, but the good news is we continue to see improvements, especially since we've gone. Maryland Avenue Bridge is back open for use on 35E, which will help a little congestion there as you head into the St. Paul area. It's 6:28. Well, it is Thursday. It's a dry morning. Unlike yesterday, it was a little damp, but didn't slow us down too much. And today, what's slowing us down are a few crashes out there right now. We're looking at
again, a backup on 94. This is in the eastbound direction up by Boone Avenue, in between that stretch of Maple Grove and Brooklyn Park. So plenty of brake light action. We get closer to the crash, and that's right near Zane Avenue. So basically traffic right now, starting to be the worst right at the scene, and then backed up all the way to at least 169 right now. There's another crash on the north side of town, this one on 35W at Highway 96. This is already a slow spot for us. Traffic coming through Woodbury to Maplewood as people are trying to avoid the Stillwater Lift Bridge closure, because that will remain closed until late December. I'll have another update coming up in the 7 o'clock hour when I'm sure it will be even busier than it is now. Guys? All right, thank you. Drive right in, 94 at Zane Avenue in the eastbound direction. This is up in the North Metro between Maple Grove and Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park area. And we do have stop and go conditions right now, starting now a little west of 169 and continuing here to Zane, where it looks like that crash happened and maybe some of those emergency vehicles have actually cleared away. So that will definitely start to help things ease up a bit in this traffic jam zone. Let's go to a few other spots out there, and a little farther west, starting in Rogers, maybe even St. Michael, and continuing on a little bit slower pace than we'd like to see. Highway 100 southbound and 169 southbound, two spots that seem to have gotten a lot busier since kids have headed back to school post Labor Day. A reminder, on the east side of town, Stillwater Lift Bridge still closed, so right now we are seeing heavier than usual traffic 94 westbound, and that will remain that way until... Hey, good morning, everyone. Happy Thursday to you. We're glad you're spending some time with the Fox 9 Morning News crew. We are looking at our roadways, as we often do at this hour, because I know many of you are about to head out the door, and there are a few areas. We're definitely seeing some slow conditions. 94 here at 95th Avenue in the eastbound direction. Heavy traffic from Rogers into Maple Grove after a crash in this area. It looks like it's been cleared away, but still the damage done. We have plenty of congestion here to be left for all of you about to head that direction. 35W in Richfield, slow moving traffic in the northbound direction. It looks like a couple lanes of traffic here closed. We're trying to push people over. If you can use the carpool lane, looks like that's probably your best bet. But northbound traffic slow going. We're going to keep backing this up, as this is the time of day when a lot of people are trying to head to downtown Minneapolis. So no bueno for those of you in that direction. 36 westbound heavy traffic between 35E and 35. We're seeing a lot of orange and red, but it has been cleared away, so conditions continuing to improve. That's good news for those of you who are traveling in that direction. Now a little farther to the east side of town, that Stillwater Lift Bridge still giving us some trouble because it's sending more traffic 94 westbound, so it's getting heavier here as you even get into St. Paul and the south side of town too. Let's give you a look at that. Yeah, traffic levels continuing to build, and that construction in Cedar Avenue also giving us a little bit of trouble. Don't forget to tweet me how your morning commute was at Kelsey Soby. Right now though, we're going to go out to M.A. Ross. And in fact, some of you actually complaining about it to me on Twitter. That's all right. I love your tweets. Blinker784 saying Cedar Avenue construction has to end. It feels like it's been over a year now. Well, it has been a while, and we still have new ramps closing on a weekly basis right now. Northbound traffic slow here, not as bad as it's been. Stop and go conditions have been in play before, and this week, at least with 2 lanes of traffic open, we have a decent flow here. But ramps at 35E close, also Diffley Road ramp onto 35E southbound close. But right now, I'd say it hasn't looked quite this good in a long time. But on Facebook, William Baldwin wrote to me, the Cedar Avenue project, it's getting pretty annoying, but at least when it's all said and done, things will look pretty good around this area. Let's look to a spot out there where things aren't looking so good due to a crash. That's 35W in the northbound direction here at 86th Street. This would be in the Richfield area, and this is already a very busy route, especially with those of you trying to push up from the south side of town, Burnsville, heading up through going on. We had a crash at 95th Avenue in Maple Grove that got things backed up. We're starting to push up toward Rogers, but I think what did even more damage was the crash that happened near Brooklyn Boulevard. So both of those crashes on 94 eastbound equals a nice flow of red color all the way from Rogers down into Maple Grove into Brooklyn Park, and that means speeds of about, well, at times 15 miles per hour. Looking a little farther to the east, we are seeing some heavy traffic 94 into St. Paul, even out here in Woodbury, after people who were trying to use that Stillwater Lift Bridge are coming down a little farther south. So not a great day out on our roadways, but it seems like people have at least started to adjust to that post-Labor Day surge in traffic. It is 7:39, and around here we like to talk weather on the 9, so let's talk now. If you could make up your mind, Tom, you could.
Yeah.
I ordered escargot
It's true.
last hour.
I'm waiting for my, waiting for my
Getting
double.
the fish and back.
Waiting for my double latte.
Think about it. Think about it. Hi, everybody. So we're checking out the roadways today. A little backed up on 94 in the eastbound direction. That is why we're starting here at Brockton Lane. This is about as far west as we see those slowdowns beginning. It's been a little brutal through this region as we had a crash at 95th Avenue, cruising a little farther east. We also had a crash on 94 eastbound near Brooklyn Boulevard, and both of those caused a big backup. In fact, we got a tweet from Chris Legassi who says we're down to half mile in 15 minutes here in Maple Grove by Maple Grove Parkway. So definitely a jam up that's affecting quite a few of you out
out there, but it looks like we're easing up a bit. Hopefully it will continue to do that for us. 35W in the northbound direction, an improvement here. We just cleared away a crash here near 86th Street, so it looks like northbound traffic, while still a little crowded there, starting to improve, and that is what we'll take this hour. A little farther south, and that stretch of 35W is down here in Burnsville, near the Burnsville Parkway area. That is where we have a crash. We're checking it out from our Highway 13 jam cam, and northbound traffic very slow going by this situation. Looks like not a lot of shoulder room to work with right around here, so you can expect some delays as you travel through just in single lane mode. We do have ramps closed at 35E as well as Diffley Road southbound to Cedar Avenue. 169 northbound itself a little slow this morning. Slowdown starting as far south as 101 down there just north of the Shakopee area. Let's go back up to the north side where again we are highlighting a lot of hot spots up there. That involves those crashes, one at Brooklyn Boulevard, one at 95th. We also had a crash earlier at 35W near County Road 96. Those have all been cleared, but still the effects we are feeling. Well, we've been talking about that iPhone 5 coming out. It kind of gets to thinking just how quickly technology has changed. Well, we're hearing from you on Facebook.
Soby is joining us now with her iPad. That's become your
Yes.
new little buddy.
I know you've been getting a lot of great tweets though from
Yeah.
people. Some people just wanting to sound off, and by the way, they're not driving at the time that they tweet.
Right.
Right. Wait till you get to where you're going or before you leave and sound off about yesterday or something. But it's fun to see. There are a lot of people stuck in traffic with you in the morning. You're not alone.
Kindred spirits.
Yes, exactly. You got to join forces out there together. Let's look outside right now. Two crashes, 195th Avenue as you head to Maple Grove. One happened Brooklyn Boulevard here on 94, and that still has some slow-moving conditions starting as far northwest as 101st Avenue. 169 and Highway 100, two other spots that have been very busy since the kids are back to school. Post Labor Day, we just added a lot of extra cars on the roadway, so it's been a little slower for some of you. But you're not alone. Evan Lowe 26 tweeted that he was stuck in traffic this morning. Also, we have Nick Bennick saying he's stuck in traffic and right alongside some school buses. So unfortunately, even the kids heading to school in those big yellow buses are dealing with the same traffic jams that we are. South side of town, Cedar Avenue northbound, still struggling with construction there, although we have 2 lanes of traffic, so things have improved since last week. But we do have some ramps closed at 35E. Also, that ramp from Diffley Road onto Cedar Avenue southbound closed. And a reminder that if we're checking out the Fox 9 app, we can look at some of the traffic news going on. And Minnesota pedestrian deaths have hit a 5-year high. So we want to make sure we're reminded, especially with kids at those bus stops, that there are a lot of people out walking on foot. So keep your eyes open for them. We don't want to break records when it comes to deaths. So let's talk weather now, something a little more cheerful.
Kay has more on that. Oh, and he has some help from Kelsey Scissorhands.
Yeah, look at that, Tom. Which one of these pruners will be best to prune your hibiscus as we transition those plants indoors? Well, you're going to want to stick around. The Fox 9 Morning News has a whole lot more right after that. Right after this. Stay with us.
This clouds just moving away just as you asked them to, sweeping out, clearing for some blue skies. You make your way to work today. Looking down a little lower on the roadways, 35W 33rd Street. Not too shabby with that nice view of downtown Minneapolis waiting for you there in the distance. Let's look around to a few other spots though where we're not quite so lucky. Still some heavy congestion in the westbound direction here at 494 near Cedar Avenue due to a crash. Looks like it involves a semi hauling some items, so hopefully none of that spilled over. It looks like we didn't have to close a lane, so that is good. East southbound, still some heavy traffic between 694 down south to 94, but at least the Maryland Avenue Bridge is back open. That was closed for a long time. Cedar Avenue, construction still going on here. Some ramps closed at 35E. Also that Diffley Road ramp onto Cedar Avenue southbound, that is still closed as well. 169 northbound, we're easing up a bit, but heavy traffic started as far south as 101 and that 494 eastbound corridor looking heavy. Maybe seeing that crash here is a bit of a distraction even on the eastbound side. And something else to note is that we're going to continue to have those overnight closures on 94 and 52 as we're working on a project there. Also 52 between Concord up to 94 northbound will close on Saturday. Basically just for the day Saturday, closing around 7 a.m. and reopening again by that evening. Now, Renville County Road 16 traffic is apparently light to non-existent, according to DHB and on Farm. So thank you for that tweet. You can tweet me all morning long, but in those rural areas, even though it's quiet, a reminder, this is the time of year we start seeing those farm equipment trucks out there hauling a lot of stuff. So just keep an eye out for them. Let's get outside though. Speaking of planting,